It's man like Dan. Come on! Welcome to Million and Prouds. And today, I can't sum you up in a word, yeah? I have to sum him up in a sentence, all right? Because he's doing a lot in this world today, and I feel like every single thing that you do needs to be mentioned, okay? So I'm gonna go. Number one, global leadership speaker.
Woo, woo.
Come on. Futurist. Woo, woo. He's not in the past, he's in the future. Corporate trainer.
Oh my.
Okay. Cutting edge distinction is the message.
Yes, sir.
Says. So, and he's also mentoring as well. So yes. he's doing many other things. I'm sure I haven't said everything, but that's the reason why I brought him here today, because he's one of the lights that I'm seeing in the black community, and I feel as though there's many things that we can learn from you, and so that's why he's here today. So first of all, big up and give a nice round of applause to the man himself, Onyi Anyado.
Thank you, Daniel.
So it's a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Just very quickly, would you like to say in your own words what exactly you do?
Yes. So official title, global leadership speaker, corporate trainer, and futurist. So as a global leadership speaker, I speak on different platforms around the world on various topics: leadership development, the future of work, AI, tech leadership, etc. As a corporate trainer, I coach and I train leaders on all things learning and development. And as a futurist, I coach and I train leaders how to achieve tomorrow's distinction today. I always tell my audience that the future you're not thinking about has already started. The likes of Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, they're 20, 30 years down the line. So it's that future of now.
So thank you for coming on. So for you, there's a lot. Success is something that you're clearly achieving, but at the same time, I know it wasn't overnight, and you've had your own journey.
Yes.
So first thing I want to know is, how's it like for you at the beginning? Because you've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot, and I feel like every experience that we go through really shapes us.
Yeah.
So what would you say are the things that you've gone through the beginning that have shaped you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. So let's go in the beginning. Yeah. So born and raised in Hackney, East London. I'm sure we've got international people listening. So I always just tell people that London's divided into 4 parts, but it's not really. It's 6 parts. Yeah. So North London, South London, East London, West London, Central London, and the City of London. So the 6 parts of London. I was always, of course, born and raised in Hackney, East London. 2.4 family, my mum, my dad, my sister and myself. Yeah. Unfortunately, at a very early age, my dad left. So for the majority of my childhood years and my teenage years, it was me, my mum and my sister. Dear mama, best mum in the world. Thankfully, about 12 years ago, 11 years ago, me and my dad reunited after 25 plus years. Okay, yeah. Then it was one of the most emotional times of my life thus far. You know that Justin Timberlake song, Cry Me a River? Yeah. But in this case, it was Cry Me an Ocean, because all I could do was cry. So coming from a Nigerian background, my mum, the best mum in the world, I went to a good secondary school, St. Aloysius. We had a green blazer in Highgate, North London. I went to Southgate College. Studied business studies, came out with a merit, that's in North London. Then I went to Middlesex University, which is Northwest London, to study management and marketing. I was really good. That was the coming of age. Obviously, being born and raised in Hackney, all my friends were black. But going to university, I had a kaleidoscope of friends from China, Europe, Asia, across the world. So, unfortunately, when I got to the second year of university, at that time, I was the only one out of my close friends that was university. Unfortunately, in the second year, I dropped out of university, began living that life called the street life. It wasn't really gangs, but it was just young men on the streets of East London up to no good. Unfortunately, in that period, 6 of my friends got murdered. 5 got shot, 1 got stabbed. I nearly got shot dead, and I went to prison twice. So you can imagine, as a Nigerian, what are you doing? There was there. I remember when I called in my mum from prison. I was like, Mum, I'm in prison, She goes, she was silent. It seemed like for 1,000 years. And she's like, what? And then, but I wasn't really a bad boy. I was just a young man doing my thing. I know some of the viewers are listening thinking, oh, you weren't a bad boy, you went to prison twice. Yeah. But, but I knew there was something inside of me. One of the greatest songs of all time, Labi Safi, there's something inside so strong. And I just knew there was something inside the song. I didn't know what it would be, but I just knew I was better than the shootouts in the prison, than my own friends trying to kill me. Than, I was tired. I knew in my heart I was tired. But as a road man, quote unquote, you've got no emotions, seeing, 5 of my friends getting killed at that age, going to 6 funerals or 5 funerals or 6 funerals. It was tough. Do you understand? It was just but it was all part of that street life that You know, 2nd of November 2008 became a born again Christian. My journey started from there. Went back to adult college. I still wanted to become a counselor, and then got my qualifications, level 1, level 2, which wasn't really nothing in that sense. Then found out about life coaching. So I'd done the 2-day training course, but of course they sell you the package, not for free in that sense.
Yeah.
The cheapest package was, I think, £4,000 or 40,000. I think it must have been £4,000. At the time, I didn't have £40 to my name. So I took a step of faith, launched my first business, began doing monthly workshops. Your Time Is Now. Nobody came for like 6 months. Them times I was heavy on Facebook and I had like 100 people registering. So like £5 for teenagers, £10 for adults, 150 people registering. I think, yes, thank you. I'm money.
Yeah.
But no one came. But I was like a dog with a bone.
Yeah.
And then I entered the educational space, began doing schools, colleges, universities, partnered with Barclays Life Skills to deliver the workshop over a 3-year period. And that was really good. That developed me as a speaker. Spoke to more than 10,000 young people across the UK. I mean, it took me as far as Newcastle, down as far as Portsmouth of Southampton. It was real, I went to schools where there was no black people there, to be honest. But the way they embraced me was quite interesting, to say the least. And it developed me as a speaker as well as serving. 2018, in that time, I self-published 2 books. In 2018, I knew by revelation a shift was coming. Obviously, I didn't know it'd be the pandemic. So I changed my business model to more corporate and more adding value on a global level. And then the rest is history. My legacy, my life story is titled From Detention to Distinction.
Wow. Tommy, a lot. You've gone through a lot. And it's definitely shaped you. Wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some of the challenges that you've been through. How does someone remain tunnel visioned and focus on the goal in spite of like the chaos around them? So like thriving in chaos essentially.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
That's a really good question. It was back in the days I had that pay as you go. It was learn as you go because I didn't necessarily have a plan B. I didn't have a plan B. All I knew that I'm going to be a speaker, trainer in some capacity. Underlining that foundation of counselling. So it was just focus. And even when I did lose focus, I still managed to achieve my goals. So it was just that, learn as you go. It was I'm not, even Superman will get disfocused. You understand in that sense. So it was one of the things where I'm achieving goals. I'm still struggling. Things are not happening how I want it to be. But I realized in hindsight, it was part of the journey. And so I didn't necessarily focus and say, sometimes I didn't have no focus, but I was still achieving. Is that something inside so strong?
So let's say someone else that could be going through similar sort of struggle. Well, everyone's struggle is different at the end of the day, but we're all going to go through some form of struggle. So what would you say are some of the best tips you could give them based on your own experiences? So I'm not going to limit you with a number.
Okay.
It could be 5 if you want, but
5,000.
But just generally, what you've learned from your own experiences, what do you think were some of the main things that can lead to someone being able to overcome the challenges that they face?
Definitely have a community around you. Have someone that you can, there's 3 levels. You look up to, you look across to, and you not look down to, but you can, that's on a lower level than you. Definitely have a community. So I break down the words community, common unity, come in unity. So that's as they do in the poetry shows. But have a community around you. Someone you can reach out to. And I've learned from my experiences, maybe particularly as men, is that we like to keep things bottled up. And that doesn't make you more of a man, makes maybe less of a man. It gives you more headache than ever. So have a community around you where you can reach out to someone on different levels. Of course, on a level of confidence and privacy, knowing that what you're going through, you can use that as a reference point when inspiring and teaching other people, because we're all going to be teachers anyway, whether one way or another, isn't it? We lose our experiences. So definitely community. And when you're going through, learn something that you're going through. Okay, what are the 2 things? What's this issue trying to teach me? That's what I've learned, because sometimes when issues would come up, I'd be like, whatever. And then I realized that, hold on a minute. As they say in Jamaica, voila on a minute, voila. Or say in Liverpool, calm down. Like, relax, learn something, stop, look, and listen. So my advice is, when you're going through a situation, a problem, what are some of the things that you're learning? What are some of the key points you can learn from it? And then when the next trouble comes, you realize that you've overcome already. So community, common unity, come in unity, speak to someone on a different level, on a level of confidence. Definitely learn your lessons, and 3, enjoy the journey. if you're going through, you have to go through. You can't stop in the middle and say, in fucking turn back time, I want to turn back. You just got to focus. You just got to go through, and that makes you the leader that you're going to have to be. Whether you're male or female, it's going to develop your leadership distinction for the future that's already started. So those are my 3 points.
Wow, that's very deep, man. Take notes. You've gone through stuff that could literally leave people scarred if they went through stuff. So I guess my question for you as well is, have you healed?
Good question. Have I healed? Yeah, I have. I've obviously my faith in Christ. That's really helped me. That definitely helped me in regards, particularly coming from the street life, because you know, pain is real, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's not get into it's not only soldiers that are fighting in Afghanistan or fighting a proxy war that go through that pain. Some of us were soldiers on the streets at different levels. I wasn't no bad boy, nothing like that, but I felt pain. But yeah, I've healed. I've you know, when I first met my dad for the first time in 25 years, I embraced him. I didn't have no bitterness or unforgiveness in my heart. It was just pure love. Yeah, so I've, you know, it's you know, you get to a point when you just, you know, you just got to get up and move. You can't feel sorry for yourself in that sense. And I think when you overcome certain things, your emotional intelligence develops, and they don't teach that in school, because the more you develop your emotional intelligence, the more you can, you know, be emotionally ready for this. Even multi-billionaires have issues. Kanye West can't. This guy seems like he ain't got no peace, and he's got all the money in the world, quote unquote. So it's a development, it's a learning curve, and it's, you know, healing comes in different places. But yeah, I'm definitely healed, because if I'm not healed, how can I heal other people in that sense?
Oh, that's powerful. Because you can carry that residue with you and
100%.
bleed on someone else, with whatever you're carrying inside. So there's a lot of people that are obviously trying to pursue their own sort of like path and achieve success, and you are living, breathing proof that it doesn't matter what your first starting point was. For example, that doesn't define you, and it's just a starting point. We all have starting points. It's what you do, how you react to circumstances. That's how you become the person you want to be. So you define the situation for yourself.
Yes.
So when you think about success, which we're all trying to achieve, especially young black men, what advice would you say you have to give when it comes to trying to actually achieve that success? Yeah,
that's a really good question. Thank you. You know, as we speak about us as young black men, and we're very interesting statistic. You know, there's no one like us as a race, as Africans, because, you know, we're originally Africans, but as young, quote unquote, black men here in the UK, it's we go through a lot. Even if you're not living that street life, you go through a lot mentally, physically, financially. You might be the only one out of your friends that's not in a gang, but you feel pressured if they're making money and they're having all the girls and they're on limelight and their social media. So I think as young black men in particular, number one, find your GTP. So back in the days, a couple of years back, I created a concept, GTP, your gifts, your talents, and your passion. So your GTP, your gifts, something you're naturally good at. Your talents, the development of your gift, and your passion. It shouldn't be about making money, because the billionaires are not passionate about making money. They're actually passionate about bringing change. So your gifts, your talents, and your passion. Do you, as a young, particularly black man, as a leader, do you celebrate your distinction, your difference? Do you understand? Celebrate. Wow. Yeah. Because I've gone into schools. I do quite a lot of work in schools once in a while when they call me.
Come on.
But I realized that, you know, because I'm really good at that. When I see an intelligent person and I say, yeah, stand up, give that answer, he's like, you could just tell he's embarrassed. Like, I'm like, brethren, there's no need to be embarrassed, because your friends are laughing at you. Stand up, Joe. What's gonna happen? I have to get all uncle on them or big brother on them. Do you understand? Because sometimes now we, as young men, young black men, we feel embarrassed that, I'm intelligent, or I know the answer, because all my friends are gonna laugh at me, they're gonna mock at me. But at the end of the day, it's not about you and them, it's about you yourself. So you have to realize that, number one, your GTP, your gifts, your talents, and your passion. When I do speak to young people, I beg them or beseech them, listen, my young people, tech is the place to go. That's the industry to go to. It doesn't matter if you're not good at GCSEs or you're not good at this subject. Focus on the bigger picture. And sometimes as young people, we get so materialistic. Gimme, my name is Jimmy. If your name is Jimmy, I'm not speaking about you. You understand? That we want the latest trainers. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, fair enough. But at the same time, one of the biggest commodities is value. And if you don't value yourself, society will never, ever, ever, ever value in a million years. For them, you're just another black boy. Another young black man, another statistics. So find who you are, your GTP, your gifts, your talents, and your passion. In 2015, I said the following, that leadership isn't about age, but rather leadership is about influence, impact, and inspiration. I don't listen to rap music anymore, but Tupac said it best, even a genius asks his questions. So as a young black male in 2023 and the next 5, 10, 15 years, you have to ask yourself, what's my level of influence, impact, and inspiration? And before I can influence, impact, inspire my friends, my family, the world, my tribe, social media, the first person I have to consistently impact, inspire, and influence is myself. It starts with you. Even a genius asks questions, as Tupac, the poet, said. So as a young person, you have to understand that you're a genius. So begin to ask yourself questions. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Do you understand? Because how did I go from university, I'm chilling with Chinese people, white people, black people, whatever, sitting in a blooming maximum security prison? Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So if you know that all your friends are living that particular lifestyle and you feel a way of walking away, my guy, you better walk away. Because I've done talks in prisons now and I've seen too many of our young black brothers just join enterprise. They're messed up because they made their own step. They didn't have the capacity to think. Said, you know what, let me not even go on that ride out. Let me not even hang around them. Do you know what, let me just hang out with someone else. And that's not all our black boys. No way. Many of them are excelling, but there's a small percentage. So number one, it's find your GTP, your gifts, your talents, your passion. Remember that you're a leader, you're a genius. So leadership isn't about age, but rather it's about influence, impact, and inspiration. And read. Be a reader. Even if you don't like to read books, read journals, watch YouTube videos, not just trapping, killing, running. There's nothing wrong with that, big up, but it gets to the point of like, come on, God. Come on, man. Like, you're 15, 16, 17, and who has your ears determine who you become? So read articles, watch about leadership development, about tech, watch podcasts like this. Not podcasts, if you're having a relationship with your boyfriend and he doesn't want to pay half of them. Come on, man. That's low level thinking. And I'm not knocking anyone.
Obviously, there's a time and place for it, innit?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's entertainment and there's nothing wrong with entertainment. It's a good place to chill out and enjoy it. But at this level, the way the world is turning, as a young black person, you don't want to be left behind. Do you understand? Because the world is changing at an alarming rate. And there's nothing wrong with them kind of podcasts. But at the same time, you have to realize the future you're not thinking about has already started. So be a future thinker. Sit down, think. Begin to read. If you don't like reading, listen. Listen. Okay, listen to whatever music you want to listen to. Watch the podcast. There's nothing wrong with that. But watch YouTube videos. Watch podcasts that talk about leadership and business and finance. Do you understand? Because when you reach 18, it's you, yourself, and I.
It's true, because I personally believe that you are what you eat.
Yes.
And it's not limited to food.
No.
It's everything that you consume. So whether that's the things that you see, the things that you listen to, the things that you watch, like your community.
Yes.
Who's around you. Like you said, you was defined by the people around you because you became a product of your environment. And so you become a product of what you consume. Yes, sir. That's what I see it as well. So some of the things you mentioned were to do podcasts, reading. If you want to see change the supply as well. That's what I'll say.
Wow.
Change the supply.
That's true. That's actually very powerful, you know. That's very powerful. And maybe as young, you know, you can be from South London or Manchester or Nottingham or wherever. Yeah, your environment might not be right or conducive, but as you said, change your supply. And listen to the music. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Watch the podcast, but at the same time, have a balance.
Yeah, balance. I think that's what it is as well. Because if the majority of the stuff you listen to is going to be, I don't know, like stuff that's not valuable, how are you expecting growth?
Exactly.
It's like, and it's a random analogy, you know, but let's say, for example, your goal is for your urine to be white, yeah? The more, let's say, Coke you drink versus water, it's not going to lead to your urine being white.
Yes.
The way that your urine is going to remain that white sort of colour or clean colour is by drinking water purely. So if you manage to just drink that water, like, instead of any other liquids, it's going to be white.
Of course.
And I think that's what it is as well, because you have to do it on a daily basis to maintain that colour.
Back in the day, when I was banged up in prison, I remember one Saturday I was listening to Tim Westwood rap show, and 50 Cent was talking about his success and all that, and he said consistency is the key to success. The next week I was watching Match of the Day, and Alex Ferguson, who's now Sir Alex Ferguson, said the same thing. I was like, rah! And that's one of the mandates I've always kept, one of the values. Consistency is the key to success. And as you mentioned earlier, offline, there's no such thing as an overnight success.
How does someone become consistent? because personally, I feel that's one of the hardest things to maintain as well. Consistency, because essentially you're building habits.
Yes.
But how do you build that consistency? Because I feel like that's a major tool for someone to be able to possess. Because I feel like once you have that, you're on the right path.
That's a really good question. It's not easy.
Yeah.
For me, at this stage of my life, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But then it's baby steps, right? It's okay. Monday, for example, I need to go to the gym. If you don't go gym on Wednesday, Thursday, it's not the end of the world. But you have to ask yourself, what's distracting you from not going on it? If you're going in the morning, for example. So I think it's that baby steps, that seeing the end goal, enjoying the end goal, and enjoying the journey too. Because sometimes we're focused on the end goal, but we're not really enjoying the journey. We enjoy when we fail, quote unquote, and we enjoy when we succeed. So I think it's seeing the end goal, baby steps, and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being to yourself, being true to yourself. Do you understand? Because, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Great success takes time. And sometimes, particularly as young people, like, oh, I need to rush this. There's no such thing.
Yeah. There's one thing I've even read as well is that most of the things that you see in successful people, it wasn't like they were just born with it.
No.
Like, I can't speak for everyone, but 99% of the time, it's what they've learned.
100%.
They've learned to become confident. They've learned to become consistent.
Yes.
It wasn't just like that.
Yeah.
And so, like you've been mentioning, learning is key as part of your development overall. So now I actually want to speak about even the mentoring that you do as well. So yeah, can you just tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah. So it's across the board. So let's speak about young people, because I love young people. I still think I'm young myself in that sense. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah, it's true.
So for me, it's again, everything I speak about is my own intellectual property. But when I quote someone, I like to reference them. Again, Tupac said, "Ain't nothing free. Give back what you earn." So yeah. It's more than a poet. It was a revolutionary. So it's more than a rapper. It was a poet and a revolutionary. So ain't nothing free. Give back what you earn.
Wow.
So what I've learned my life on the streets and my mistakes, my success, I now have to not just pour into the corporate world, because I love doing corporate world and global speaking, whatever, but also to this generation. Because we're talking about the next generation. Let's talk about this generation who are lost, who are really lost. And when I'm talking about lost, not necessarily in a bad way. So I pour out, whether it's through coaching. Sometimes parents contact me. Can you do some one-to-one coaching with my son or my daughter? Or obviously when I do schools, when I do workshops. So it's not motivation. It's not, young people don't need that motivation in that sense. But it's real strategic thinking. It's real, practical inspiration. It's real direction. Okay, you're A. You need to get to D. How can we now go from B, C, D? Do you understand? So yeah, it comes in many forms. I've done work in prisons, felt them a couple times. That was just I've done PRUs, people referral units as well. And it was interesting, if you look at quote unquote Black America, how it's built, they call it the projects. And if you look at the word, it was a project. And so I remember going to do some PRUs, people referral units, and noticing that the same build, the same layout was exactly like prisons. And I was like, hold on a minute, this place looks familiar. Then I clocked that actually how it's laid out, is like a prison. Is where, the young people sit on the bench, they've got a table tennis thing, they can do a little bit of weights, then they've got to go to class, but the doors are locked. And so I would break it down to the young people. Look, don't put yourself in that situation. Yeah, it's hard. You're coming from single parent family or no parent family, or you might be in a gang, or you might not be in a gang, or you not believe in yourself, but there's consequences. So I really took to tell them about the consequences and living my life story, that 6 of my friends got murdered. It's not a joke. It's not the gang things we're seeing now is deep, but back in the days it was worse, much worse. So I tell them the reality, but also the reality of the future, that you can achieve. I'm not a motivational speaker. You can achieve whatever you want, but you can achieve certain things. But it's going to take hard work, smart work, and a focus. But you now have to identify what the focus is not. So yeah, I love pouring out to them, and I've learned, as I said, doing the Barclays Life Skills workshops, for example, 10,000 students across 3 years. And that develops me, because sometimes we say, Black young people. Yeah, I've been to places, like in Liverpool and Sheffield, where you see poor white children. Like, I've been to schools when I'm standing over the student and I can smell urine, like I can smell it. So I've said to the teacher, because I've got a duty of care, like, et cetera, and said, unfortunately, mum's on drugs and they don't have a shower or bath in the morning, and it's come after they've wet the bed. I'm like, wow. Like, like that. So I need to pour out even more, and not so I'm not going to judge him or her, but, you know, that's my little bro, my little sis. So it's that pouring that empathetic love on them. So yeah, it's interesting. It's much more work to be done as well, particularly now with mental health and well-being and young people, what they're going through, particularly over the last 3 years with the COVID and lockdowns. But yeah, I'm here for it all.
That's amazing, man. So regarding that mentoring work as well and all the speaking engagements that you're doing regarding young people, how do you break like down like a way of thinking? Because you know, like a thinking trap can be seen in anyone, like no matter what age you are, where like you're kind of just like trapped in a negative sort of cycle where you're just thinking whether it's negatively or you feel as though you're in some form of bondage. That's what I can describe it as. Like your mind is prison.
Of course.
So how do you manage to break that down, or how does someone break down a way of thinking and bring that change that they want to see?
It's fantastic you said that. So when I speak to young people in particular across the board, schools, PRUs, prisons, conferences, whatever, I tell them my life story, and within 2 minutes of telling my life story already, because here am I don't look that older than you because I'm a little old. Yeah. But I'm seeing that 6 of my friends got shot and got murdered. I nearly got shot, then I went to prison twice. Now, not every young person's in a gang, or not every young person living a street life, but every young or will go to prison. But every young person has a prison, whether it's fear, lack of confidence, lack of understanding. Do you understand? Yeah. So with that, I always start by sharing my life story. Already, they've understood that, because even if they come from a nice family and they might live in a not so great area, every young person knows of a gang.
100%.
Yeah, so it's not, you know, so once I tell that and tell them that, you know, my mum used to pawn jewelry, you know, just to feed us. You know, we had a black and white TV for long. We couldn't afford to school trips. There's that empathy with them. There's that understanding. So already I've opened that mindset. Yeah, I'm tall, I'm well spoken. You know, I've got a little bit of drip. I don't call it drip. I've got, you know, got my style, my distinction. Style. There's more to it than that. Yeah. So by that time, once I've heard my story, my journey, it's already open. And I always tell them, so it's interesting that when I speak to corporates and senior management teams, it's kind of the same message. So I always tell them that distinction in leadership isn't a mindset. Distinction in leadership is a state of mind.
Wow.
Distinction in leadership isn't a mindset. Distinction in leadership is a state of mind. So let's talk about young people. For some young people, not all, it could be, well, you know, I was going to make money anyhow, you know, maybe do some AC, do some drugs, whatever, or whatever, and then, or even get a job, as a matter of fact, and then I need to go buy the latest clothes. I need the Yeezys. I need the Yeezys. I need to look good. You know, I've heard some stories with young people that make me, you know, I can't judge them because when I got my student loan, I went crazy. You understand? So it's like, that's the mindset. Oh, and I need to look good on social media. Okay, you want to look good, but you've got nothing to offer. Do you understand? You know, when I work with young ladies, I need to look good because this guy, he's going to like me. I'm like, young lady, fall in love with your love first. Fall in love with yourself first. Do you understand? Know who you are. Know what you carry, your GTP, your gifts, your talents, and your passion. So it's really breaking it down. Oh, what are you good at? I'm not good at anything. Okay. If I was to tell you 5 jobs that you wouldn't like to do, what are the 5 jobs? Straight away, they could tell you 5 jobs. And there's no such thing as a bad job. Tell me 5 jobs you would like to do. Well, you know, a hair. So it seems like you're focused on the negative than the positive. So let's break it down. What you good at? Well, I like drawing, you know. Okay. Architect. Town planner. I've never heard that before. Okay, here's your goal. Here's your homework. Do this, do that, do that. So it's really breaking it down on a simplified form. I'm not a motivational speaker. Oh, be the best you can be. Never give up on your dreams. That's great, but that's on a fundamental level. This is taking their mindset to a state of mind. And that state of mind, it sees opportunities and possibilities in the midst of obstacles and problems. Yeah, your dad's beating your mum. Yeah, you don't know your mum. Yeah, you know, your parents are strung out on drugs. But there's nothing stopping you from sitting in your room and learning something different about yourself. Going online and connecting with like-minded people. Following the right people. Follow who you want to follow on social media, but follow some entrepreneurs. Follow some community leaders. So at least that changes your mindset from a mindset to a state of mind. So I really break it down. And it's interesting. It's our young people are more intelligent than we can ever imagine. Yeah. They've got something inside of them so strong. They're so talented. But as you said, society, maybe family upbringing, binds them. It's a binding strong man that binds their thinking, and they only think one particular way.
No, it's true, man. I feel like they just don't know what's inside of them, for many different reasons. So, with your mentoring, what was the organization called, or how can people receive that sort of mentoring? Like, what's the process?
Yeah, so it's very different ways. Now it's a lot of word of mouth. So, the business, the company's OA Media House, but people connect me via LinkedIn, via word of mouth now, which is good because I put the work in over the last couple of years. What's that song? You got to work. I mean, I put the work in, Joe, so let me now receive my benefits. But you can connect to me. I'm sure there will be a link in the description. So, via Insta, via LinkedIn, etc. And it's a very straightforward process. We want you to come and speak. We want you to come and train. We want you to come to mentor. Okay, I find out what they particularly need because everyone has different needs, and we go from there.
So when you think about your journey as well, you've already mentioned some of the difficulties you go through at the beginning, but even towards where you are now, whether it's even current challenges, what would you say have been the challenges that you've gone through to get to where you are now?
My God, I can't see it coming down my eye, so I gotta make the song cry. My gosh. Yeah. Wow. Look, if anyone tells you that entrepreneurship is easy, they're a bloody liar. I didn't swear, by the way, so forgive me for those that bloody is not a swear word. Yeah. Mate, man, I tell you, it's been such a journey, but I thank God, it's been such a journey of out of every pain comes purpose. Out of every shame comes success. Out of every tear comes a new level of leadership. And I've gone through some pain, some shame, some tears from being evicted, not having enough money, can't afford 20p spaghetti from blooming Tesco's. Oh man, I could tell you some. I'm gonna tell you some stories anyway. Yeah. I mean, I remember the times when I couldn't. I remember one particular time I couldn't afford the 20p spaghetti from Tesco. So I used to have a nationwide book account. Nigerian mums, the best mum, they love to give their sons and their daughters the book accounts, which is good. Yeah. So, which is good. Yeah. And I remember I was so hungry and I had 12p in my house. Mm-hmm. And so when I found my book, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I've got some money and I think I had 18p. So at least I can have 20p to go and buy thing. So I remember I've always been a good dresser, even for shirt and jeans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember come on.
Yeah, it's not, there's levels though. I remember going into the nationwide building society. Yeah. So I had my sunglasses on. I went to the desk, and I was like, "Can I take out some money, please?" And she's like, "Oh, how much?" And I said, 13p. She goes, "Pardon?" And I was just like, "You heard what I said?" Yeah. I was like, 13p, please. And the guy, he looked up like, So I said, 13p. Have you got any ID? I was like, okay, yeah, here's my passport. I knew that, because I only got a passport.
How did you get ID?
Because only a passport. So anyone can find that. Yeah. So I went in there, and then she was like, so I gave her the ID. And I was like, how do you want it? And I'm thinking, I was like, and I've been cheeky then. I was like, 10p, 5p, and 1p. And the man was looking at me like, is this guy serious? I looked at him like, I'm bloody serious and I'm hungry. So I remember she gave me the 13p. I was like, oh, thank Lord. So I went to Tesco, like a 10-minute walk. They put the price to 50p. I just stood there laughing. And I remember one woman was looking at me like, why is this guy laughing in front of spaghettis for? I was thinking, this is long, man. Yeah. This is long. So yeah, the of course the financial stuff, trying to grow the business, that was very difficult. I think that side of it, and I think it's that focus. Yeah, even if you haven't got so many distractions, it's hard to be focused, which is a bit of an irony. So I would say, is of course the financial side, the focus. But I just had this. I didn't have a plan B per se. There's nothing else I could do. I've got level 1, level 2 counselling. In the scheme of it, it's not worth anything. I remember in my tough days, my dad, the best dad in the world, said, "Oh son, go back to education, go back to college, university, whatever." I was like, yes dad. But I was thinking, go back and do what? And even if I knew what to do, it's going to cost money. I haven't got any money, so I just got to just keep pushing, man. And it defined me. It defined me as a man that that anything great that you want, it's not easy. It's bloody not easy, man. But yeah, I think those are the challenges, is that, and surviving the shame, because I'm speaking to people how to, develop yourself, and I'm struggling. But then I realized that I'm not actually struggling. I'm actually going through the journey. It's, bleeding while leading. Wow. So I'm leading, but I'm bleeding. I'm in pain. But that's what distinguishes the great leaders, because you're going through pain. I'm not telling people 7 steps to become a millionaire, because it takes more than 7 steps to be a millionaire. I'm talking about your leadership development. But then I realized that my leadership distinction comes from my pain. Yeah. So if I'm going and now I'm speaking on platforms around the world, and great platforms like this, it's not light work. This is real
It's powerful. The best leaders often have like the most struggles.
1,000,000%.
I think it's because they're the ones that are giving that message, innit? So in order for you to relate more, like it just shows the strength that no matter what you go through, that you can still achieve certain things. So when people look at these successful people, they often don't look at the scars that they've actually received as a result of the embarking on the journey that they set out to do. So just hearing it from you, it's nice hearing the human aspect. The fact that you've been transparent about the difficulties that you've gone through, because I think a lot of people can relate to difficulty. And what you're doing now, especially with the young people as well, you're being that father figure for some that don't even have a father figure. You're being that older brother that they never had. Yeah. You're being that mentor. You're being that guide. A lot of times we want to see someone of the same sort of race in a certain position before we can believe. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying often that's what encourages people. So to see you speaking the way you're doing now, like trust me, it's very inspiring, and I'm sure a lot of people will be able to learn from you. So
thank you.
I'll add the link in there.
Yes.
In regards to what the other stuff that you do, because I know you're doing many other stuff. How can people get to know about that? How can they connect with you, etc.?
Yeah. So Instagram, YouTube, even though I've been kind of not great on YouTube, but it's coming. The next video is about AI and tech leadership. That's coming definitely in the next thing. But yeah, Instagram, LinkedIn, those are the main challenges. Main challenges, heaven forbid, the main channels. No more challenges, man. I've had too much for a blooming lifetime. But that's the best place you can catch me on. So the links will be in the description. So, and any questions, just send me a DM or whatever.
So what I want to speak about now is your advice to young black men regarding some of the stuff you've spoken about. Obviously, you've already given some advice already in some lessons, but when it comes to this journey of success and trying to achieve it, what advice would you say you have for us?
Listen to your parents or guardians. That's so important. Growing up, my mom was saying, "Stop going out, stop going parties, stop." What are we talking about? I know I'm big. Can't tell me nothing. Listen to your parents, your guardian. They're a number of years older than you, so they have more wisdom and more understanding, more revelation, and more truth than you ever imagine. Never disrespect your parents. Never. Even if you think they're the most wickedest, baddest parents, whatever. Never disrespect your parents. Because as young people, you don't understand what your parents have to go through, how hard they have to work, particularly in this time of cost of living crisis, to keep the roof over your head. Never underestimate your parents' ability to serve you. I want the latest iPhone. Mum, how can you shame me? I'm embarrassed with iPhone 6 or 7, whatever phone's out. I want an iPhone 14 or 13, whatever. What? Humble yourself, homie. Or young lady, humble yourself. So don't boost up your chest, you know. Sometimes when I watch the soaps and like, shut up, mum, don't tell me nothing. And you say, you know the ones there. I tried that once with my mum. The box she gave me, mate. I think I still got a bruise on my back, mate. You know, my mum was very short. So humble yourself to your parents. Don't big up your chest like you're speaking to one of your brethren on roads. Do you understand? That's 2. So 3, I would say definitely take time to think. I know everything's fast now. Snapchat, what's the other one? TikTok, everything's fast. Blah, 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 blah. Take time to think. In fact, switch off your phone, or at least put your phone in another room, and for 5 minutes, just sit down and think. Because life is too fast. Just think. Number 3 or number 4, definitely think about career choices. The future you're not thinking about has already started. Look at all the options in tech. Depending on what age you are, this is my own personal belief. Not everyone's suited for university. Not everyone. So think about apprenticeships, and the great thing about apprenticeship is that you can learn and you can earn at the same time. Do you understand? So you can be thrust into an office environment or whatever environment. Not only are you getting paid, and obviously you still have to have financial literacy, but also you're earning. You're learning about the workplace, about communication. Definitely, and also financial literacy. It's not every money you get from maybe work or your parents or your guardians or whatever that you spend. I was like that in the younger days, or back in the days. As soon as I get money, straight Zara, straight Harrods, and that's nonsense. So yeah, so those, respect your family, Respect yourself, of course. Don't push yourself up to your parents, your guardians, your teachers, etc., to authority figures. Look at the future of work, particularly around tech. If you're getting pressurized at university, speak to your parents or your guardians about the benefits of doing an apprenticeship. And remember that distinction leadership isn't a mindset. Distinction leadership is a state of mind. And amongst every kind of form of obstacle and problems, there are opportunities and possibilities for you to develop your leadership distinction.
Right. Yeah, nah, that's not even enough.
Thank you.
But honestly, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Opportunity.
Your inspiration, sensation,
Thank you.
motivation,
Thank
everything. You. And I think I've really just learned from you, even just being here, a lot. And there's a lot of lessons for me to take. So thank you, honestly.
Thank you.
I want you to just keep doing your thing. I'm sure you give yourself objectives and tasks, but don't watch the pressure. You got this. Yeah, just continue to reach new heights, because you really are creating a legacy. You've already got a legacy, if I'm honest, and there's a lot of people that are going to be following you, or you're creating future leaders because of the work that you've decided to do.
Thank you.
So thank you for noticing your GTPs and using it for everyone else. So yeah, check him out. Definitely check out his programs, because you can see him, like right now, you can see what he has to offer, and I'm sure there's more. So please support him. I think he's got a YouTube channel as well. Connect with him, speak with him, and yeah, praise him. Write some messages in the comment section. He needs to hear
yes,
how you've impacted him. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.